Hi everyone, welcome to Link's Awakening DX with glitches. This is a game that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I've finally got the time to do it, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's probably it's the first Zelda game that I've ever played, and it's still one of my favourites. You know, I played this when I was really young. I played the original black and white version, and that one's probably a little glitchier than this one, but this one has some pretty unique stuff in it as well that I'd like to show off. Plus, it looks a lot nicer because it's in colour. And it's kind of funny that they've kind of tried to patch a lot of the stuff, but there's a lot of other stuff in it as well, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. But yeah, as you can see, this was the first Game Boy Zelda. You know, it's 2D, it's sort of 2.5D I guess you could call it, where, you're kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, but you know what I mean just by looking at it. It's not actually 2.5D, but you get my point. Well anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is head down to the beach, because I need to get the sword. Obviously I just got the shield from Mario there. And there's not really much you can do in this game unless you have the sword and shield, so that's pretty much the only thing you want to do at the start, and it's just in here. Now, if you stand here just where the water meets the sand, hold out your shield and hold right, then when the owl's done talking to you, you should be close enough to pick up the sword before he flies away, which saves a little bit of time because the owl takes like a year to actually fly away. Pretty typical that the owl would take forever to do something, and if you've played Ocarina of Time and you've never played this one, then you shouldn't be surprised at all that he takes forever to talk in this as well, but fortunately it's not quite as bad as it is in the 3D Zeldas. So anyway, yeah, we got the sword. Just gonna, after Link shows off a little bit with it, just do a save and quit. You can do that by bringing up the menu by holding A, B, start and select at the same time. And this will let you sort of warp around the map really quickly. I went into this house for that reason, so that when I did a save and quit, it would put me back here. Instead of having to walk all the way back, it just saves quite a lot of backtracking. And I'm going to be using things like that quite a lot in this. I guess you could say that this playthrough, although it will be like a glitch demonstration as usual, it's going to be more speedrunny than some of my other ones. Because I'm going to pretty strictly be following the 100% speedrun route. Because, I mean, it's 100%, it pretty much shows off everything that you'd be interested in seeing anyway, but if there's anything else that I can think of, obviously I'll be showing that off as well. But yeah, here we are in the forest. We're going to skip pretty much everything in here. Before I actually do that, I'll show you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to come up here, and there's a raccoon. It's actually Taran or Mario, as I called him earlier. And yeah, he's saying that you're going to be lost thanks to him, and what he means by that is that if you go up further, the screens just repeat until you get to here, and then you're back down here, which is, yeah, the raccoon's like just up here. So yeah, you can't actually get through him. What you need to do is you need to get the magic powder and sprinkle it on him, and that'll make him like just return it to normal. But I'm gonna skip that entirely because there's a cool little thing you can do when you get out here. You need to go through this cave regardless though. There's a heart piece there, but I can't get it right now. I need another weapon to move those skulls, so I'll just leave that. Now, over here is a toadstool. You're supposed to pick that up, go back through the cave, go up to the northeast exit of the forest and give it to the witch, and she gives you magic powder. You go and put it on Taran, and he, restores the forest to normal. I'm going to skip every single part of that. What I need to do is wait for this Moblin to move upwards. It takes a while sometimes, it's pretty random, so as soon as I see him moving upwards, I'll move in with the shield and start hitting him. Come on. He's really trolling me right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm going to hang over here and he shoots me across. Now that was pretty fast, so I want to just take a minute to explain what actually happened there. When you go onto a pit in this game, you can sort of hug the side of it for a little bit before he falls in. If this guy would ever move, I'd show it off again. Like this. As you can see, he sort of stood there for like a second before he fell in, or before he would have fallen in had he not gotten hit. What I want to do is time it so that the Moblin will hit me while I'm standing there like that, and that will fire me across. And that's obviously the reason why he had to be walking upwards, so that he was facing the right way. And if he walks upwards and you hit him with your shield 7 times, or around about 7 times, then he will always shoot you across. And that lets you skip past Taran. As we'll see in a second, he's actually on the screen just below me. Still in raccoon form, and he's going to stay like that for the rest of the game, although there are going to be a few instances where we're going to see him in his human form. Somehow. I'm just going to kill these because I'm actually pretty low on health. I'd like to get some hearts if there are any. But yeah, just gonna head straight back to the village for now. Before I head off to the first dungeon, there's a few things in here that I want to get that are going to speed things up a little bit in the dungeon. And the first one is to actually get the magic powder that I mentioned earlier, but to get it via the shop, because it's just a little bit quicker. So the trendy game, normally you would get the Yoshi doll here. That's another thing that I'm going to be completely skipping. We found a way to do that, which is really cool, but I need to get the magic powder. So I position it over the top left corner, and as soon as the magic powder touches the left arrows, the top of the magic powder touches it, you just tap A, and you'll get it every single time. So I'm just going to wait here, pushing myself into the corner until it falls down. Okay. So this isn't really that useful, but it is still necessary, and this is 100% anyway, so we do need to get it. So the next thing I want to do in the village is get the first secret seashell, which is this one right here. We need to collect 20 of these. There are 26 in the game in total, but you only need 20, and furthermore, when you get more than 20, or when you get 20, all the other ones just turn into rupees anyway, so you can't actually collect them. So this shovel, as you see, 200 rupees, not going to pay that. Just going to stand up here till he looks, and then try and pull one over on him. It's a little bit random, but yeah, if you do it just right, you can get out for free. So I'll go back in, and he's going to kill me. And there's no way to avoid this. This is the only death in the run that's going to be intentional. I'm sure there will be others, but that's the only one that's going to be on purpose. Okay, so we have to buy the bombs. I could steal them, but it's quicker just to buy them. And I'm going to steal this 980 bow and arrow as well. Same as before. Oh, no, he was too fast for me that time. There's definitely an element of randomness to this, but whenever I do a speedrun in this game, I'm usually able to get it pretty quickly. Anyway, I got the bow. If I go back in, he will kill me again, so obviously not going to do that. There's a bunch of other stuff that I can do in the village. A lot of it is to do with the trading sequence, like which starts with the Yoshi doll. I'm going to be skipping that, but there is something in here that I need to get, and I'm going to need the shovel for it. I just dig up this part. There's another secret seashell. Like I said, I'm going to get 20 of those. But we're not actually going to see the reward for that until very late in the game, but it's not a big deal. Well, now that I've taken care of everything in the village, I'm going to head down and start the first dungeon, which is east of the beach. And this is going to let me show off another cool trick, which is going to be slower, I'm sure, than just going round, but in this game, if you walk downwards onto a pit, like as long as you're sort of between two pits, like I kind of am here, as you can see, I'm sort of almost at the right pit as well. In fact, I'll do it with this one, because this one's a little bit more consistent. Well, anyway, what I want to do is I want to go down as far as I can, and I'm going to start pause buffering. That was a mistake. And I'm just going to, like, every time you unpause the game, and then pause again, you're buffering a frame. It doesn't look like it, but Link actually is, or he's doing something. He doesn't look like he's moving there, but he is doing something. And the same thing happens when you're on a hole, so I'm just going to go down, start buffering. I'm just going to keep doing this until I hear Link dying. Could take a while. There we go, so when I unpause now, I'm going to hold down and he should just walk straight off. Nope, he didn't. Okay, well I'm going to do it again because I am a jackass and I need to show it off. Okay, I think it's going to work this time. It's a little bit random again, just because of his position and stuff. Definitely not a consistent trick, not one that I would recommend trying in a speedrun. Okay, I got it. So it's like, normally when you fall in a pit, obviously he just falls down and that's it. But if you buffer it like that, then there's like a little bit of time after he falls down where you can move, and it's just enough to get you across. So for the first dungeon, I'm not going to put the key in normally, I'm going to put it in on the side, like this. Because the game just lets you do that all over the place. Okay, so I'll head in. I'm going to do this dungeon now. If you bring up the start menu, when the text that displays the dungeon name is supposed to appear, then you can skip it. So I should clarify something. This is a 100% run, but it doesn't include, like, compasses and dungeon maps and dungeons, because they're not, like, part of the main inventory screen. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't really mind it if they were in it, but I don't really care that much. If I see one on my route, I might pick it up, but it's not important. Anyway, yeah, the Tail Cave is the first dungeon. It's really, really easy. Even if you're not, like, doing it really quickly, it's still really easy. If you walk along the top of this wall, those sparks will never hit you, by the way. So, can I hit him in the hole? No, I can't. That's alright. And he recovered. Oh, I want that heart. Okay, I got him that time. So we're going to get the first item of the game that you get in a dungeon in a second, which is one of the most useful things and one of the most unique things to Zelda, actually, because it's not something that you often get in these games. In fact, I think it's only in this one, the Oracles of the Minish Cap, or variations of it at least. Anyway, you never saw it there because I brought up the save menu, which skips a lot of text in this game, particularly from chests, but it's the Rock's Feather. Lets you jump. Now, something I want to explain about this is, if you're moving from like right to left or whatever and you jump, it doesn't affect your speed, but if you walk upwards or like diagonally or whatever, he moves kind of slow. Like, just think of it like this, right? The total time that it takes me to get from this torch to the one on the other side if I move diagonally, right? Like that. It's pretty slow. But if I jump diagonally, it doesn't actually waste any time, which means that the time it takes Link to go from here to here is the same as it takes him to go from there to there while jumping. I hope that makes sense. It basically means that the diagonal jumps are a lot faster than the straight jumps. So I'll be jumping a lot in this run. That's pretty much the gist of what I'm trying to say. So I want to kill this guy. I'll be getting that chest in a second. Another thing that's cool to this game is that you can shoot the bomb and the arrow at the same time and he'll shoot it across the screen like a projectile. They brought this idea back in Twilight Princess, but as far as I know, those are the only games that have it. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just skipping the text by pressing A, B, start and select a few frames after the item appears. It can't be too soon or else the text will still appear. But this just lets you do it on every chest in the game, which is great. And if I need to save the game afterwards, then I can just do that and it'll take me straight back to the entrance to the dungeon. Okay, so that's the Nightmare Key. That's what they're called in this game, not the boss key. And that'll let me access the Nightmare or the boss of this dungeon. Okay, so we actually haven't fought the mini-boss yet. We'll get to that in a second. I want to go up to this room, which isn't necessary, but I want to show it off because it has probably the worst enemy in the game. We never actually need to fight these things, but the idea is that you're supposed to stop them all with the same like card symbol on them. And the only real way to almost guarantee that is to get them all close together, then just do like a one big spin attack or something. I'm going to see if I can get it really quickly because I just want to show it off. But it's completely randomness, as you can see. See, I got two of them there and it's pretty much just... Okay, I got lucky there, whatever. And I got the beak for the owl. You can put it in the owl and it will talk to you. In the original version of the game it was just a stone slab. But in the DX one it's like a beak for the owl. Anyway, mini-boss in here. I'm going to use the arrows because... 2 arrows kill it. And that's it. You know, you're never supposed to have the arrows at this point in the game. So, you know, a lot of like the earlier bosses just really die to them really quickly. And here's the main boss. Gonna skip his text just by bringing up the menu like that and equipping the sword. I'm not good at this boss, you know, I'm always really scared that I'm gonna get knocked in. I suppose if I just take it slow I should be fine. I thought I already hit him twice with that spin attack. Well, whatever, I killed him, so no big deal. Let's grab the heart container. They're actually completely required in this game, even in any % runs, you know, because the door doesn't open until you pick it up. But yeah, the full moon cello, that's the first of the 8 instruments that we're going to get in this playthrough. We're not going to be getting them in order. We will for the most part. I think the first like 5 or so are gotten in order, and then after that it's pretty much reverse order as I recall. It's 8, 7, 6. But we'll see as it gets on. And the owl's going to tell me, at least I think it's the owl, who's going to tell me where to go next. But I'm not going to go there because this is an excellent stopping point, so I'll just save and quit the game. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.